Oh my gosh. I've got a closet full of pictures myself.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Donna.
No.
Kaylee's outside. Nice. It's beautiful out. 61 degrees, I think, here.
Yeah, unusually nice out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you take all your plants out in the summer then?
Oh, yeah. They all go outside. Yeah. I have a greenhouse, too, so
Oh,
way too many plants. This Zen thing about do no harm. It's like, oh, I don't want to kill that one. It's still growing. Oh, now there's 2 of them. Oh my God, now 5 of them.
it'll come back. Yeah, I know, it's hard to kill them.
It really is. Really is. So I'll just keep working on it. I'm going to give away a lot of them this spring. Yeah. So.
And you put some kind of a red light on them?
Yeah,
light?
I do. It's a grow light. But on the ones in the house, I have a grow light in both, but in the house too. There's some that, like for example, kale, when I grow it in the greenhouse, it ends up with powdery mildew.
Oh.
So I grow that in the house, and then I use the grow light. Yeah. Because it's really wonderful to go and, hi, Eileen. It's wonderful to go and pick your leaves and have them on your sandwich in the afternoon, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's fascinating is that kale, I had cut it down in the fall and brought it in, and I just stuck it in water. You know, it still had the stem, but no roots. And I stuck it in water thinking that I would, you know, cut the leaves off in a day or so. Anyway, it went by about a week, and I looked and I go, oh my God, it's rooting. Who knew? I know. So that's the first time. I had no idea that would happen.
A new discovery.
Yeah. What fun. So anyway, I've had them all winter, and we've been eating on them all winter.
Well, wonderful.
Can't get any fresher than that.
Except in the summer.
Looks like Kaylee is sitting outside.
I know, how wonderful.
I actually ate lunch outside on my porch.
Nice. What's the temperature out there?
Hang on for a second. It is 57.
Okay. It's 61 here, so it'll be warmer for you tomorrow. Because the jet stream is going your way.
Yes.
So, cool.
Carol, that's quite a picture in your background.
What's that?
60 here. That was our Christmas picture 2 Christmases ago when we could be together.
Oh, nice. Yes, and I also love the other Carol's background photograph.
Oh, me too. My favorite place is the beach in the world.
That's actually about a year old. I'm going through all my pictures. I've got like 11,000 of them.
Oh my God.
Is that all?
Carol, do you have a Mac or a PC?
I have a Mac.
Okay, so you might want to try getting from Adobe Photoshop what's called Bridge. And it's just a wonderful way to organize it's the best way I've found to organize photos. Best way.
I'll keep that in mind, but I kind of categorize them myself. I've got a folder that's just of my
okay.
well, iPhoto, and I name them myself so I can find.
Oh, good.
But I have to go ahead and do this physically myself when I have a bunch of photos.
It's called the Bridge.
Yeah, it's called Bridge.
I've heard of that, but then
I can't live without it. It's just because everything is in it. All your documents, including your pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Much easier to find stuff. What, Eileen?
Who's behind it?
Adobe Creative Cloud, Adobe Photos, Adobe something. Adobe Bridge. If you just put in Adobe Bridge, you'll find it. Yeah.
Okay. Because I purchased from my sister-in-law's company. Well, it's not her company. She works for them forever. forever.com.
Oh.
And I got a great deal. It was a one-time fee of $79. It's ordinarily like $200 or $300.
Well, you did get a good deal then.
Yep, and it's a great way of organizing photographs, labeling them, putting them in albums. And I needed to create something for my executor because she's not a family member.
Ah,
And I have a lot of my mother's antiques and things that Bill built. And, you know,
oh, good for you.
yeah, so I've been working
Well,
on
that's
that.
good planning. Yeah. Yeah, it's 2:03, so I don't want to go on any much further, but reminds me of the Swedish death cleaning, getting
Yes,
organized and
Yeah.
yes. Yep. I'm doing a little bit of that, but this is the focus.
yeah, gotcha. So, let's see. Colin said he's going to kind of take a break for a little while because he's doing too much learning.
Yeah.
And Lisa is off volunteering to give vaccinations and or help the people that are giving them. And I forgot. And Maggie said that she would be gone for a couple of weeks. So looks like this is it. I don't know what's going on with Ginny and Dennis, but hopefully they'll be here. So, because today I'm really excited by what we're going to talk about in practice, which is dissolving pain. Now, I remember Dennis trying it out once. And that may be why he's not here, because he knows it works already. Because I remember trying it out and remember him saying, Ginny saying she heard him yell from the other room, "It works!" Anyway. so that may be why he's not here. But anyway, I wanted to sort of deepen our perspective on what's happening and how we're working with our attention. Because when we're practicing meditation, we're in the beginning, we're focusing and we're practicing focused awareness, where we're focusing on one thing and then the mind wanders and we bring it back. So that's focused awareness. What the dissolving pain exercise is diffusing attention or open awareness. It's a little bit different in this open focus practice because it's very specific to research done by Les Femi at Princeton, who's a neuroscientist and psychologist and the author of Open Focus book. But his research, he includes 4 types of attention, but rather than get too confusing, the only thing I think that's interesting is that he changes the idea from just open awareness, but also that there's a difference between having your mind open and being aware of things that are arising in your awareness, and also accepting whatever is coming up. He calls it open and immersed. So different words meaning the same thing. So today we'll be focusing on using the dissolving the pain, and we're going to use it not only for just physical pain, but also for emotional pain. So you can pick which one you want to work with, because some of us are very lucky and don't experience any pain right now. On the other hand, if you have, let's say, chronic pain that kind of comes and goes, then what you can do is memorize the pain, like where you feel it and that kind of thing, and then still do the exercise so that when it does come back, you're ready. Okay. So, let me just look at the difference between, just to try to make it a little more clear, the difference between open awareness and focused. Also, diffused attention happens when our mind is wandering. Okay. But we're not aware of what our minds are doing. So this will make the difference. It's like the mind is doing, we're just watching what the mind's doing. So again, it's more of a broadening and widening our perspective. Okay, and it allows you to see the big picture. And the dissolving the pain exercise, whether it's physical or emotional, is backed up by EEG, neurofeedback. And Les Femi, the founder, says that our attention becomes diffused and immersed when we are aware of the empty space around us. Okay. So he says when this happens, our brain generates synchronous waves of alpha frequency. And most of you probably know that alpha waves are the ones that relax us. Okay. So just try it for a moment, okay, to get a sense of what that means. Okay. Just become aware now of the space between you and the screen that you're looking at. And then become aware of the space on your right side. And then the space on your right side, on your left side. And now become aware of the space above you. And below you. And then bring your attention to focus on what's straight in front of you. Let go of the awareness of the space. Focus on what's right in front of you, the screen, or something right next to it. And just really focus on it. And then drop that and go back again to becoming aware of the space in your room. Okay. Anybody want to share if you could feel a difference in your body when you're aware of the space as opposed to focusing on one thing?
I think it feels lighter.
Lighter? Your body feels lighter. Okay. Is there a physical manifestation of the lightness?
Like what?
Well, for example, when I do it, I notice that my forehead, the lines in it get softer. It sort of expands.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I can feel my body and my eyes soften too. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at the screen.
Okay. Well, when you're aware of the space, you notice the difference in your body. You said it feels lighter when you're aware of the space. Is that right?
It's that like the head, the shoulders, all my tense areas feel lighter.
Ah, okay. So yeah, the head and the shoulders. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? You feel a difference in your body when you're aware of space as opposed to focusing on one thing? Carol?
I'm not thinking about my body then, any little ache or pain.
Okay.
I'm focused on the space.
Okay. So while you're focused on the space, okay, that's interesting that you're focused on the space and it's all around you, right? Yeah. So the attention is wider than it is if you're focused on the screen, right? You can feel the difference in that, right? Not really. That's okay. It's important that you know that you don't, because with practice, you will feel a difference when you're aware of space. And we're going to be doing a little more of that in a minute. Anybody else? Did you feel a difference, or you want to try it again? Maureen?
I think when I looked to the right and saw more open space than when I looked to the left and saw just the corner of the room,
Yeah.
I felt more relaxed with more open space than I did with a smaller space.
Okay. So similar to Dorothy's, the body relaxes is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to try it again.
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. And let's take like one whole minute to do each one. All right. So, so let's just start with, and I'll ring the bell when a minute's up. So start with just focusing on the space between you and the screen. Just be aware of the space there. Your eyes can be open or closed. And now expand your awareness to include awareness of where the wall is opposite you. For Kaylee, she'll just have a one wall, but no wall behind her. But just become aware of that, and then become aware of the space between you and the wall. And now become aware of the space behind you. Just aware of the space behind you. And then the space to the right. Empty space to the left. So just stay with that sensing space for a few more moments. Okay, then bring your attention now to shift your attention to just focus on what's right in front of you, the screen. And not aware of space, just the one object. Okay. Staying focused on that one object. When your mind wanders, bring it back. And again, just keeping your mind on that one focus, one object. And then we'll switch one more time to become aware of the space all around you. And since our bodies are made up of atoms, and atoms are mostly space, you can become aware of the space inside your body and around your body. And notice what happens to your body when you're aware of space. Empty space. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Dorothy. A lightness,
Mm-hmm.
a definite lightness.
And then where do you feel it?
Encompassing, I think, my whole body.
Whole body. Okay. Okay.
Of course, at one point it was, my mind wandered, as it will for artists, those of us who are artists, to drawing the negative space.
Ah, right. Of course. Yeah, fun. Thank you, Aline. Yeah. So that's important. Like you say, you can feel your body feels lighter.
Mm-hmm.
That when it's the reason why you articulate how your body reacts to feeling space, and there's other ways to do it, like just practicing listening, because we don't have most of the time control over what we're hearing. So it sounds arise and they pass away outside our control. So the practice of just allowing, okay? But the reason why you want to become aware of how it feels in your body is that way you can recall it no matter what situation you're in. You know, it's like, oh, let's put my body, like I said, for me, I can feel my forehead whiten, you know. And I even actually can feel the skin on my skull come back rather than, you know, like when I'm focused and when I'm talking, you probably see the lines in my, when I talk, you know, yeah, and I'm focused, then my eyebrows come together. But when I go into an open awareness, then I can actually, like I say, feel the skin on my skull expand. It's fascinating to me because I have to be in that state. I can't just make it happen physically. I have to be in that state and then it happens.
Yeah. Has Michael taken photographs to show you that?
That's a good idea. No, but I'll see. I'll have them do that. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It'd be fun. So, okay, so the listening, and then when we go to do the dissolving pain exercise, what they're going to do is ask you to become aware of your hands, your lips, and your tongue. The reason why they pick those is because those three areas have the highest amount of sensory nerves, so that it makes it easier to be aware of them. Yeah. So we'll do that. So this thing about open awareness, I want to share with you what happens if you don't practice it, cultivate it well, okay? This is a story about a young MD who was doing his residency in obstetrics, and he was really nervous when performing pelvic exams on women. So to cover his embarrassment, he had unconsciously formed a habit of whistling softly. Okay. So during one exam, a middle-aged woman suddenly burst out laughing, tears running down her face. That's how he goes. He looks up from his work and he says, "I'm sorry, was I tickling you?" She replies with the tears again running down her cheeks from laughing so hard. She says, "No, doctor, but the song you were whistling was 'I Wish I Were an Oscar Mayer Wiener.'"
Ah!
I'm not aware of all these what's going on, huh?
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so a closer look at open awareness. All right. It's I like to describe it as it's like opening the door so that anything can come in. It's hard to describe, but anyway, that's one way. The other thing is the more we cultivate it, it really paves the way to some real insight about our own patterns. Because most of the time, they're played out in autopilot, just, you know. So if we sit in open awareness, we can watch some of our patterns arise, and then we know we can do something about them. Unlike this doctor who not aware of what he's whistling. So anyway, so we've already done some practice of switching, and the other thing I would like to do is before we actually go into, I don't know, maybe did everybody have a feeling of the difference between focused awareness and open awareness? Everybody get a sense of that at all? Because if not, we could do one more exercise. Raise your hand if you did.
I think I could use one more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So it'll be a short meditation. So we're going to try just listening to sounds as they appear in the environment. Okay. So I'm going to start with the bell, and I'm going to ask you to follow that sound until it's gone. Just listening. And allow your field of awareness to feature the soundscape. Always here, presenting itself to our ears. Just presenting itself in the form of sound, whether it's my voice or the sounds around you. Open to the space between sounds. Listening to everything without exception. So resting in hearing. And if your mind begins to wander, you might repeat the word hearing or listening silently to yourself. Resting in hearing. Being the hearing. Without creating any distance between you and what is being heard. Listen. Listen. Right now. In this moment, listen. Okay. Was that different for you? Anyone?
I found that very interesting. Ziva is on my lap and she's purring.
Ah.
And so that's the sound I focused on, and my hand is on her. So not only do I hear her purring, but I feel her purring.
Wow. Yeah. Feeling sound. I love it.
Feeling sound, yes.
Yeah. Again, that's expanding without exception. Whatever is arising. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I certainly found it easier to follow the sounds around me than just the space.
okay.
Because when you're looking at the space, your mind is still thinking of objects
Right.
rather than just the idea of space,
Yes.
where hearing it is a different faculty that you're using. And it's much easier for me to focus on a sound.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, because everybody's different, and in some ways we're more alert in other ways. So it's great. Thank you, Anne. Carol.
I'm sitting next to my refrigerator and I can hear the motor of that. It's not very loud, but then I'm also by near an outside wall and I could hear an airplane going over. And I was thinking about the distance between the refrigerator and the airplane.
Ah, the space
Yeah.
between them. Yes, yes.
So I found the hearing much easier to
Aha.
work with.
So then that would be when you want to practice and cultivate open awareness. You may want to just sit and listen. Remind yourself, just listen. Yeah. Great, great. Okay. So we will try this exercise, and so before I do, though, I want to read to you something I found this morning that I was so beautiful. It's so beautifully put about open awareness and why we meditate, that I just wanted to share because it's so beautifully written. Um, it goes. Maybe you're making dinner and you step outside to snip chives from the kitchen garden just as the harvest moon is rising over the eastern slopes. She is full and golden, like one of those pregnant women who radiate from within. Suddenly you cannot bear the beauty. Scissors suspended in your hands, tears pooling at the corner of your eyes. You nearly quit breathing. Your gaze softens. The edges of your individual identity fade. You are absorbed into the heart of the moon. It feels natural, and there is no other place you'd rather be. But the onions are burning. So you turn away, cut your herbs, and go back inside. You resume stirring the sauce and setting the table. And this is why you cultivate contemplative practice. The more you intentionally turn inward, more available the sacred becomes. When you sit in silence and turn your gaze toward the holy mystery you once called God, the mystery follows you back out into the world. When you walk with a purposeful focus on breath and birdsong, your breathing and the twitter of the chickadee reveal themselves as a miracle. When you eat your burrito mindfully, gratitude for every step that led to the perfect combination of beans and cheese and tortilla, from grain and sunlight to rain and migrant labor, fills your heart, renders you even more inclined to be grateful.
It is beautiful.
Almost done. It gets better. So sit down to meditate, not only because it helps you find rest in the arms of the formless beloved, but also because it increases your chance of being stunned by beauty when you get back up. Encounters with the sacred radiate from the core of the ordinary, embolden you to cultivate stillness and simple awareness. In the midst of a world that is begging you to distract yourself, this is no easy practice. Yet you keep showing up. You are indomitable. You are thirsty for wonder. Isn't that beautiful? It's by a woman named Mirabai Starr, and it's an excerpt from Wild Mercy. Starr is spelled S-T-A-R-R. Yeah. That should set the mood for open awareness. Okay. So first I'll read a disclaimer. This is written by Dr. Kopec, who studied with Les Femi, the founder or discoverer of open awareness, who developed it. And the reason why I follow Tomaz Kopec is because he's much clearer and not as dense as Les Femi, and his guidance tend to be a lot shorter. So anyway, he says it should not only be done when the reason for pain is clear, and not feeling the pain might give you a false impression that the problem has healed when it has not. The reason for the pain is not completely clear. It's important to seek a doctor's advice, of course. Now, if you're going to choose to focus on emotional discomfort, like say dissolving anxiety, then what I'm going to recommend is that you choose something that brings moderate pain. Okay, since you're learning this practice, it's best to start with something that's very manageable. And you certainly don't want to start with anything that would be overwhelming. Okay, so And also to remember, if you have any emotional pain, that emotions are information. And so you want to make sure you've gotten the message, because if you don't, it'll just keep coming back. And the other thing too is that before practicing dissolving it, to recognize that in the long run, practicing open awareness helps us from being overwhelmed by our emotions. Okay. It takes a while, and I'm not there yet, but I know people who are. And if you lose it, the good thing though is if you lose it, you catch yourself a lot quicker. You know, I think I've said before that when I first married my husband almost 30 years ago, I could be mad at him for a week. And now it's just seconds, you know. Of course, he laughs at me when I start to get angry anyway. But it really has made a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you spell the name?
Tomaz Kopec, is that what you want? Or Open Focus?
No, the guy who you said was clearer than the other guy.
Yeah, Tomaz Kopec. Tomaz Kopec. Yeah, he's got a wonderful website, and I will put that up on YouTube when I upload it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he has exercises for falling asleep quickly, for instant calm, dissolving anxiety, and dissolving. It goes on. There's quite a few. So, okay. So let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah. All right. So you want to find a position that's relaxed, yet alert, and it's recommended that the best position for this particular practice is sitting with your hands resting on your legs, whether your knees or your thighs, but okay. So the first thing you need to do is to learn more about your pain and feel. So you need to acknowledge the pain and notice exactly where it is in your body. Feel where the borders of the pain are. And feel where it starts and where it ends. And then feel your pain. If you're dealing with emotional pain, be aware of how that feels also physically in your body. And if the sensation starts to die out, then simply bring back the situation that would normally bring that feeling. And again, if the pain is physical and it comes and goes, then you can memorize the pain. In other words, how big it is and where the borders are. So now notice, is it a flat sensation on your skin? Or is it three-dimensional shape inside your body? And is it still or is it moving? And then can you give it a color? What is its color? And now feel what the surface is like. Is it smooth or rigid? And now grade your pain from 0 to 10, where 0 is no pain and 10 is very strong. Okay, so now you know a lot about your pain and we can start the exercise. I'm going to mute Eileen, would you mute yourself just in case?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So place your right hand on your right knee or thigh and left hand on the left knee or thigh. And then close your eyes. You know, it's suggested that you keep your eyes closed throughout the rest of the exercise. And now become aware of all the sensations coming from the right hand. Feel the touch of the knee or the thigh. Feel the gentle vibrations coming from your right hand. Feel the pulse on the tops of the fingers. Feel the pulse. Feel the temperature of your hand. Feel your right hand is warm. Okay, now become aware of all sensations coming from your left hand. And again, feel the touch of the knee. Or the thigh. Feel gentle vibrations coming from your left hand. Feel the pulse on the top of the fingers. Feel the pulse. And now feel that your left hand is warm. Feel your left hand. Okay, and now become aware of all the sensations coming from both your hands at the same time. And I'll tell you how to do that. Find a place in the space which is in the middle of your hands. Imagine you are there. And then you'll feel them equally. Space in the middle between your hands. Find the place in the space which is in the middle. And feel. Good. And now become aware of all sensations coming from the space between your hands. Just feel space which is between your hands. Feel space. Okay, and now become aware of all sensations coming from your lips and your tongue. And now feel lips. Feel your upper lip first. Gentle vibrations coming from your upper lip. And now feel your lower lip. And And now feel your tongue. Lots of vibrations coming from your tongue. And now feel your lips and your tongue at the same time. Good. And now the sensations coming from your lips and tongue and hands at the same time. And I'll tell you how to do that. Find a place in the space which is in the middle between these three areas. Imagine that you are there, and you will be able to feel them equally. Find a place in the space which is in the middle between these three areas. Imagine you are there and feel. And now feel the space which is between your hands, your lips, and your tongue. Feel all the sensations coming from this space. And while you're feeling this space between your hands, lips, and tongue, feel your pain at the same time. Feel space and the pain at the same time. Feel the pain and space. Very good. And now become aware of all sensations coming from your hands, your lips, and your tongue, and your pain, all at the same time. And I will tell you how to do that. Find a place in the space which is in the middle of these four areas. Imagine you are there, and you will feel them equally. Find the place in the middle. Be there and feel. Good. And now feel the space which is between your hands, your lips, and your tongue and the pain. Feel all the sensations from the space. Feel space. Feel the space. And a bit longer. Feel space. And a bit longer. Feel space. And just a bit longer. Feel space. Okay, very good. So now you can slowly begin to open your eyes. This is the end of the exercise. And grade your pain on a scale of 0 to 10. Notice as it changed. Or even feel how the shape of the pain, has it changed in its size or its color? And the surface, do you feel that anything has changed? Anybody want to answer? Looks like Dorothy's trying to talk, but you're still muted, Dorothy.
That,
There you are.
yeah. Well, my pain went down to a 4. It was at an 8, so that was helpful.
Wonderful. And you know, if it comes back, then you just do the exercise again. And what he says is if you do it for 4 or 5 days in a row, that it may totally take it away.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days in a row. Yeah. And it should be reduce a little bit each time and then eventually dissolve completely.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. Please report in and let us know. Anybody else? Did you see a difference in your pain at all? Was everybody able to feel space in that particular exercise? Carol was, Ann, okay. Looks like everybody's, yeah. Everybody but Kaylee. Kaylee, were you able to? Okay, good. Okay, so did anybody notice that the pain did go down at least a little bit or change in some way? Carol shaking your head, yes. Anybody else? Did it not change for somebody? It looks like it changed for everybody in some way, at least. So it's something to keep. I mean, isn't that exciting to know if you keep practicing for 4 days? If you have chronic pain, that it should go away? Just doing this exercise.
You said that was for 4 days?
Yeah, 4 days in a row.
Okay.
And what you can do is check it out on YouTube and come back and, just use that part on YouTube because it'll be up by tomorrow. I'll have it up by tomorrow morning.
I have the exercise on my,
Oh, good.
I have it, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can always download it too and put it on your computer, make it a little easier for you. Yes, Carol.
It seems like for me, it's a real subtle thing to feel my lips.
Uh-huh.
Do other people have a problem with that?
It's a good question. How about other people? Everybody feel your lips just fine or no?
Well, my hands were far more sensitive and tingly and whatnot. I was aware of my lips and my tongue, but the sensation was very much in my hands.
Yeah.
And I, in all the years of practicing Reiki, I often put not necessarily myself, but the symbols here when my hands were on somebody. So I did some of that.
Oh, okay. So aware of the sensation in your hand would be a lot easier because you used them a lot.
Yeah.
Or that kind of thing, of being aware of the energy there, right?
Yep.
But like anything, the more you practice it, the more you will be able to feel the sensations in your lips. And maybe just move them a little bit, which would also. So, any questions about what we did or how you can make it work better for you? Or if it didn't work, let me know that too, because that's important. Because then I can learn how to modify it, Looks like not, so, okay. Well, Then, if no one has any other questions or anything like, what one thing did you learn today that you're going to be able to apply to your life? I see Holly smiling.
Be more aware of the sounds around us. And I guess especially now that we're starting to hopefully go outside a little bit. I know one of the things this morning when I first started to walk, it was like there were birds. You could hear them chirping. And so I think that just being aware of the sounds around us and trying to relax with that and pay attention to them.
Yes, the red-winged blackbirds are back here too. Thanks, Anne. Holly, were you going to say something? Oh no, I can't hear you.
Went away,
There you are.
but as soon as
Okay.
I start moving around, then it comes back.
Yeah. So
So I
maybe
mean-
try that too, to do it 4 days in a row.
Mhm.
See if that works.
Yeah.
And then report back to us.
Okay.
Eileen? Yes, Eileen.
Well, I chose a spot of chronic pain, which of course isn't bothering me right now. So I will do this when it's bothering me.
Oh,
But I was certainly able to do all the gestalt work
Yeah.
around it.
good. And use that as a template. So
Yeah.
great. Great. Anybody else? What one thing did you learn, Dorothy?
The space isn't really empty. When you work with this quantum energy, it's in the space. So you can sense the energy in the space. I can do that.
Ah,
So
oh, I like that. Yeah.
it doesn't feel empty to me. It feels like an awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be going into and feeding our energy centers. And if our energy centers are blocked, then that energy can't go in, and that's when we get sick.
Yeah.
So balance is very important in your body.
Yeah. And that it can be called empty, but it's also, I mean, awareness is the same thing. It's that kind of energy.
Yeah, right.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
I think I'm always trying to focus more on the open awareness. We went for a walk this morning, and my husband heard the robin sing before I did. And then we saw the robin and
Wonderful.
talked to him, and he talked back to us. But I think we get so preoccupied with stuff, I do, that I'm not open enough to what's around me. The beauty and the sounds and people, whatever it might be, but I get so preoccupied with something else that I don't even hear or see what I should be aware of. I need to always work on that, I think.
So I think what I hear you saying is that you're working on being more attentive to your environment. Yeah.
Right.
What's arising in the moment. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Thank you, Maureen. Okay, well, we have 4 more minutes, so not everybody went to tell me what one thing they learned. Carol?
I knew about this and I've used it before, but I think I should probably try to do it more often. I think it would be helpful. And unrelated to the class, Donna, but after everyone's spoken, I came in when you were talking about putting kale stalks in water. Would you just please describe that again and how that worked for you?
I had just cut them down in the fall, but not without the roots, just at the bottom, and I stuck them in water and they rooted. And now they've been growing all winter.
So they kept growing even after you'd cut off some leaves?
Ah,
Wow.
I cut off the bottom and there were still some leaves on the top. Stuck it in water and then it rooted. So now it's just growing all winter. I put it in dirt, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Carol T, you were going to say something?
Well, I had a little problem with the space part of it. Like I have a wall next to me on the left side,
Mhm.
and I felt restricted with that wall there.
Ah,
So, and the other side is more open and behind me and above me.
mm,
But I might be a little claustrophobic too.
mm,
But I had trouble with the space with the wall next to me.
yeah. So being aware of the space made you more aware of how little you had
Yes.
on one side.
Yep.
Interesting.
And I didn't like that feeling.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you might want to sit in a different place next time.
No, I'm okay if I didn't think about that.
Ah,
Thinking
okay.
about that space and what was on my left, and there wasn't really anything except the wall, bothered me. If I don't think about it, I don't have any trouble with it.
Okay. Yeah. So you learned that thinking about being close to the wall is not a positive thing for you.
That's right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure, sure. Yeah. And you don't have to think about it, which isn't that great?
No. I'm not going to think about it. I'll think about the airplane outside.
There you go. Okay, Kaylee, anything you want to add? You are unmuted, but we can't hear you.
And you can't hear me.
Now
Oh
we
yeah, now we can.
Just, that
Yep, now we can't. Now we cannot hear you. It comes in and out, so, oh, too bad.
but I was more of a emotional.
I think I hear you say that you worked something was more emotional. Yeah.
It was helpful to change from focus to open awareness.
Yeah.
That changed the feeling about the
That you
difficult.
can. I think I hear you saying, because it's breaking up a lot, but I think I hear you saying that it's helpful to know that you can switch your attention. Yeah.
Yep, that made it.
Great. Yes. That's really important. A lot of people, most people don't know that we can just switch your attention whenever you want to. Yeah. So. Okay. Well, it's the top of the hour.
Did anybody see
All for
any-
showing up.
over and back of me? It was really loud, and I had it on mute. But this huge bird flew in back of me. And I didn't think
Really?
it was making quite a. It was a great blue heron. It wasn't a sandhill crane.
Oh,
So
wow.
quite a
Well,
lot.
it'd be fun to hear. Next time we might focus on the sounds in your yard. Or even
Well, yeah, some of it was the neighbors working outside picking up sticks. So,
oh, okay. Yeah, never mind.
with that mute, but then the wind was going by, and I guess you can't hear it. So
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All
thank
right.
you again.
Thank you.
Have a
I
wonderful
need to
week.
go.
Yes.
So
Donna,
I'll see you next week.
Okay. Blessings.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You're so welcome. Thank you.